Uh.
Yeah.
Hey, sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes here live on this fine Tuesday evening here in Columbus, Ohio. I got my man Mossberg of WTP Sports Dudes along with Level Up Sports 10. How you feeling this evening, bro?
Man, feeling pretty good. Just like you said, the sun's shining here in Columbus, Ohio. It's been rainy, but can't take it away. That sun is beaming nice, and it's just good to see all the squares popping up as we had another one pop in. And I'm gonna let you finish as we always do.
We also got our man T1, somebody else. City League.
What it do? What it do?
Also with WTP Sports Dudes, our man Mr. Claiborne. How you feeling this evening, bro?
I'm tired, bro. My Tuesdays is long, and you know the daughter is home from college, and you know it don't stop. We're in the gym right now, seeing her getting some training. So my work day kept on going. I just got off the weight, so everything is good here.
For sure, for sure. I see you didn't waste too much energy putting on your brand on your head and that old ugly ass championship T-shirt.
You gotta love it, baby. You gotta love it. You gotta love it, man. Anytime it say champ, man, you gotta rep it.
Oh, for sure, for sure. We also got our young buck of the crew, FanDuel Zaya, also with WTP Sports Dudes. How you feeling this evening, bro?
I'm solid, man. I'm working. We working.
Yeah,
Hey, we
work.
working. Hashtag.
For sure, for sure. All we need now is Parlay Paul. Parlay Paul, if you out there listening, bro, you need to jump in on this stream, bro.
Yeah, because we
He
back.
probably out there working. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we do, man. We gotta be the hardest working cats in the business, man. We
Yeah.
working.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
And, not to cut you off, T1 or WTP Sports Dude. Speaking of working, as you all know, I've been in the chat this week, speaking and broke some news, man. Without us all, I don't think it would be possible, man. I'm partnership that happened. I'm partnership with Cap City Predators, which is a football organization with Coach Mike and that team and that organization. Looking forward to everything that we'll be doing leading up to this football season and even throughout the years to come. And as I told Coach Mike, it's just a lot of us, you know, Level Up Sports. We team up with all of us. FanDuel Zay, City League TV, WTP Sports Dudes. He brought us all together, and we all respectively work together. So we all definitely gonna be out there. So Cap City Predators, appreciate you bringing me in to partner with, and I just can't wait to get to work, get out there filming, meeting some of the kids, and we definitely got an interview coming for you as well this week with Coach Mike and some of his staff also.
Cool, for sure, for sure. So tonight we want to talk a little bit about college football and what's going on in the college football landscape, get some predictions on some things that we think might happen this upcoming season, and then anything else that we want to talk about. But let's get it started right now. Will there be another Ashton Jeanty in college football this upcoming season?
Yes, there's always somebody coming from out of nowhere at one of these smaller schools that's putting up, closing in on 2,000 or whatever or whatnot. So Absolutely, absolutely. Somebody's gonna pop up. One of these running backs gonna pop up, and you know the competition isn't gonna be that great. And they're gonna put up great numbers. Now, are they gonna come from one of the Power Four conferences? Absolutely not.
That's a great question. Just thinking of backs when you think of something like a Ashton Genty, no one can, we really can't compare certain players coming in this year like a Ashton Genty. But just thinking of somebody that might get like close to 1,800 is Jeremiah Love. But like City League said, it'll definitely be somebody we don't know about that's definitely running that ball and putting up some numbers this coming year for sure.
I mean, like the question is kind of a tough question because are we talking about like somebody?
It wasn't that tough.
Can I speak? I mean, I'm asking: is we talking about somebody that's gonna get close to this record? Is that what we saying? Are we saying is somebody gonna get close to the record?
Getting close to the record, somebody who you know what I'm saying, gonna have a lot of rushing yards, a lot of touches, a lot of carries, gonna impact their team the way Ashton Genty did. All of that.
Hey, here's the thing with that though, y'all. It's a long season. You're not gonna have one running back carrying the load like he did right there. You're not. That's not gonna happen with this 12-team playoff. That's what I say in the Power Four conference. It ain't that. I'm gonna listen for a minute, fellas.
I'm gonna say I like Jeremiah Love. When you saying that type of impact, I'm gonna say Jeremiah Love. I like the way he ran the ball and just think of the games that he didn't play, the possibility of the yardage he could have gotten. So when you giving somebody the ball, I think he's gonna be one of the running backs. If he comes into the season 100% healthy, look out college football. You're in for a show with Jeremiah Love because we see he can carry the load when it comes to holding that football. And it's been a while to see that in South Bend. So I'm going to take Jeremiah Love as my pick that could be that back that could get those yards and those touches. Not 2,600, but I definitely think he can get them yards and them touches.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, the record is now touchable because if you got somebody that played 12 games, and if they got a conference championship, they played a 13th game, then they go to the playoffs, they're going to get up to 16, 17 games if they can make a run. Yeah, you got somebody to touch the record. But as far as, like, if you measure them on a per basis, hell nah, ain't nobody getting close to no Genty. You only see that one time every 20 years, 15 years or something. You don't never see no impact like that for real. Like, out of a running back in college football, like before Genty, who would y'all say the last person it is? I would say Zeke. Before that, who would I say? Like Bijan didn't even do that in college. Like he had the scrimmage yards.
Brandon Jacobs, Adrian Peterson.
Deontay Foreman might have been the last dude to get 2,000 yards rushing before Genty.
Yeah, you just didn't see that though. But like now it's like a whole different thing. You got more games. So yeah, you can get close to the record now, but like pure like eye test and like impact on the game, bro. Genty affected the game on a different level, but he still had all them games to get close to the record. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't see a Genty this year. I don't see one out there.
Yeah, there may not be a Genty out there in college football this season, but I'm anxious to see what Tulane transfer running back Makai Hughes does at Oregon. James rushed for 1,300 yards, over 1,300 yards, 2 back-to-back seasons. This guy is probably projected to be their number one running back. I want to see if they go long into the playoffs or if they even make it to the conference championship game and play a playoff game or 2 or even 3, maybe even 4. Can this guy reach 2,000 yards rushing? Seeing that Jordan James, I think that's his name, at Oregon last year was able to get over 1,300. Maybe this guy can surpass that. Maybe Oregon has a kind of system where they use two backs, but they mainly go with one back for most of their carries. So I want to see what this guy does for Tulane, and can he withstand a grueling Big Ten schedule like he's going to face playing for Oregon, playing in the Big Ten.
And I'm glad you mentioned that too. That's another thing that's going to hold people back now, because now this two back system is becoming prevalent. So it's going to be hard unless you really got a workhorse type offense. We need workhorse type offenses now. It's a lot of spread.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure. What about this question? From what we saw of the college football slate in 2025, can the week-to-week matchups compare to last year's slate?
Hey, I think it's just gonna get more and more competitive as things balance out. You're gonna have the Ohio States and the Michigans and the Georgias and the Miamis and the Clemsons and all of them, everybody except for Texas and Florida State. But you will see a whole lot of competitive games out there, I think.
He had to slide down.
Yeah. Don't just take shots at mine. Y'all know I'm fully loaded.
He slid it in there, man.
Fully loaded.
I like it. I like it. I think we could see some great matchups. We starting off with, Florida State, Alabama, Ohio State, Texas. Just to start off the first, week. I think we definitely, like you said, it's just gonna get stronger and stronger. Even though, we just lost a nice class of players. Probably one of the nicest draft classes we're gonna look back on in some years. And what we have coming in, freshmen, you think of Arch, you think of Smith, you think of Ryan Williams, you think of Jeremiah Love, you just mentioned the running back from Tulane. It's a lot of players that could definitely still week to week be big games. Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma, Texas is only going to get bigger. So I definitely feel it could be week to week compared to last year's slate.
I mean, I like what you said, Moss. I like what you said, T1. We know from just August 30th, and the football season actually starts the 23rd. But that week 0, that week really don't really count for real, because that's just like scummy games, like games you don't really, Right. This is games you really ain't tuned into for real. It's just to get the kickoff for college football. But August 30th, though, we know Ohio State plays Texas at big noon. We know at 3:30 we're gonna see Florida State and Bama, and then at 7:30 we're gonna see Clemson and LSU, and then turn around on Sunday we're gonna see Notre Dame and Miami, and we got South Carolina and Virginia Tech on Sunday. So we got bangers in every slot.
Yes, sir.
That's all we want as college football fans. We don't want to go through not one slot that we ain't trying to tune into a football game. And that's what matters. You got to have a premier game of teams that we want to see at 12, 3:30, 7:30. Yeah. We're going to watch College Game Day. We're going to wake up and watch College Game Day 9 and 12. You know what I mean? Woo. So that's our whole day. That's all we need. So, yeah, I think week 1 is setting the tone. Really, week 1. Like I say, they call that first week 0. But week 1 is setting the tone, man. And man, don't I love every matchup in every slot. And I even love it.
Week one is I think and they just gonna continue. They gonna every week is gonna be bangers. I'm excited. I'm excited for the season coming up. I'm excited for this. This may be the most interesting season in college football history. Because once again, if you just think about it for real, it's still wide open. It ain't nobody out here that's about, hey, they about to go get it. It's Alabama, they defend the champions and returning all of these other players and all of this, as Alabama has been one of the few teams that have repeated during, this era where we've been watching it. But I'm excited. I'm excited.
I think it's the biggest college football week one. I don't know. I think this has been the biggest college football week one we're gonna look at in a long time. You got to think of how many top 25 teams is playing, how many All-Americans you got playing, how many Heisman candidates you got playing. I mean, you got a lot of top players playing in this first weekend. And I mean, like Zay said, banger after banger after banger after banger.
Hey, now look though. I must say this though, just on a quick tip. Week 1 is supposed to be a banger. What we need to be nervous about is week 2 and 3, because that's when a lot of the powerhouses schedule their cupcake games. So I don't know. Let me pull up the schedule real quick.
I think
It's a couple good games.
Yeah,
You
I
said
think we
what
get
now?
Oklahoma. I think we get Oklahoma and Michigan in that second week too. I think.
That second, yeah. It's them non-conference matchups that we're gonna have a couple clashes that'll be pretty good. That'll
We
just
don't
kind of
get
make sense.
Oklahoma and Michigan week 2, man, because they opted for a suspension for Sharon Moore for week 3 and 4. So I think that's week 3. That Oklahoma game.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it might be 2. It might be 2. I don't know, but all I know is they skipped the suspension from the. Oh, it is week 2 because they skipped the suspension from week 1 and 2 and went to 3 and 4. Yeah. That's what happened. So yeah, we get that one, but I don't think it's too many other games. I know we played Grambling our second game, so that's week 2 for us. You know, you probably ain't gonna see Texas play nobody. You ain't gonna see the Georgias play nobody. You know what I mean? You're not gonna see Florida State probably ain't gonna play nobody. You know, who y'all play the second game, Moss?
Got a couple cupcakes in between there.
Yeah, because you want to see where you at week 1, really, honestly. That's the best way to schedule your stuff. Or you either want to play that first prevalent game week 1 or week 4. You don't want to play it nowhere in between, though, because it ain't really enough time to work on what you need to work on.
I agree.
Yeah, this is different, but what I'm hoping that college football does, because you had mentioned that usually in weeks possibly 2, 3, and 4, you usually get a whole bunch of powerhouse teams playing a bunch of cupcakes. I hope that they get to the point where we still get in those time slots, we get some powerhouse games in those time slots, which I don't know if that's going to be the case this year. Looking at it, because I know Texas has a cupcake game. But I think in week 3, we got Wisconsin and Alabama again. I don't know if that's going to be a banger or not.
We got Iowa State week 2. That's going to be a banger.
State week 2? Okay.
Yeah, the Iowa State, Oklahoma State at Oregon, early test for Oregon. You know, Illinois at Duke. Just some non-conference matchups that'll be kind of, you know, something just to take a look at. You know, you getting a good look at teams early in the season, you know, to really see what they work on and if they do those type of things throughout the season as well. As we seen, your Buckeyes, man, doing, you know, give them props, man. It's a tough journey to come along, and we seen the work that they put in throughout the season, you know, to be the team that go through a historic run like we seen, you know. So kudos and shout outs to those Buckeyes with that run that they did, and like we talking about now.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, what that week 3 we'll have a decent slate. We got Wisconsin, Alabama, we got LSU and
Florida.
LSU and Florida.
Florida.
And then we got another big one. It's
Ole Miss Arkansas. That's a good one.
That's Ole Miss Arkansas is a good one, but it's one even bigger than that one. I gotta find it though.
Tennessee and Georgia.
Tennessee and Georgia.
And that's
Texas A&M, Notre Dame.
Texas A&M, Notre Dame. That's
it. That week is a banger.
That's that week 3.
That's a banger. Yeah, that's a banger weekend.
Man, that's matchups we done talked about 3 straight weeks. I think this college football season, that was a great question, WTP Sports News. We might be in store for one of the most, you talking about now, we thinking about a historic season when it comes to not just matchup, just possibilities. You know, you got Arch out there. You got the Buckeyes out there trying to do something that hasn't been done in quite a while. you got a lot of things that's going on within this college football season. A lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores. Shout out to Ryan Williams, Smitty from O Block 4, as we call you, Arch Manning. Some of the guys, Florida State, Jackson. All those guys, man. We talking.
Hey, while we on week 3 too, I just want to mention that Florida LSU game is big. That's going to determine maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th place in the SEC for me. But the biggest game that weekend, to me, in my opinion, is Clemson and Georgia Tech, because I think if Georgia Tech can win that, I looked at their schedule. It ain't too tough. If they win that game, they might be favored to win the ACC going on for the remaining of the year. Y'all might want to tap into Haynes King. You know what I mean?
Bro.
That's the only thing I'm saying. That's a big game.
That boy, good. He gonna get some Heisman talk on the depending on how he play. He might come in and they talking about him too. I mean, he's just really that good. He means a lot to that university.
What it do post game, man? We wish you was in here with us, bro, so we can, you know what I'm saying?
Good to see you in here post game.
Oh, there you go.
All wall. I'm the people's champ.
Post game.
Post game in the building was good, man. Good to see you in here.
Post.
What up, fellas? What's going on?
I'm doing all right, man. Good to see you in here for the first time, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate the invite.
No doubt.
Sure.
Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah, you good, bro. Hey, how do you feel about the topic we were just on? I don't know if you was tuned in or not, but do you think the matchups can compare week to week on a week to week basis from last year's slate to this year's slate? Have you been able to go through and look at the schedules a little bit?
I'll tell you what, man, I'm really excited for your Buckeyes and Texas week 1. That's one game I'm really excited about. I can't say that I know the schedule for the season top to bottom, but that one for sure, the Buckeyes and the Longhorns.
Hey, man, we all excited for that, man. Hey, we're going to make a stream like right after that game or something.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody got to wear somebody's shirt. Somebody.
I just hope that you're able to be found after that game, because when they lose, they get ghosts.
That ain't me. That ain't
I
me.
ain't you. I ain't
Yeah. Put a name on it. Put a name on it.
Man.
I ain't gonna put no name on it. Well, let's take a look at this next question, man. Let's make a way too early prediction and pick 6 teams we feel will make the 12-team playoff. Right now, we feel like, yeah, they're going to be in the 12-team playoff at the end of the season.
All right, well, I'll go first, man. Y'all know the Buckeyes is going to be up in that joint. You know what I mean? We don't lose more than 2 games in the season. So in a regular season, we just don't do that. I done proved that in the group chat. Woo, woo, woo. We can move on to the next. Notre Dame, they got a tougher schedule, in my opinion, than they did last year. I think the quarterback that's coming in that was backup for the boy last year, I think he could sling it a little better. And they still got Jeremiah Love. And all their offensive linemen got reps in real game action. They're going to have a great offensive line, and they're going to have a great running game. They're going to be hard. They're going to be tough. And we know Freeman going to have a good defense. That's 2. Penn State got the most returning production out of all the teams from the playoff last year. They got to be in there. And if they don't, James Franklin, he got to go. And then I'm going to say Texas and Georgia by default, because I think they on the buzzsaw. I think whoever win that Texas-Georgia game definitely got a leg up to win the SEC, even though it's some little potholes on the road, though, for both teams, and we're going to see how they manage it. But them are 2 ultra-talented, well-coached teams. And then my 6, I'm going to have to go with Clemson. Clemson got a lot of experience coming back, one of the most experienced quarterbacks. And Dabo, he had a new hire on defense. I can't think of the defensive coach's name right now. but I expect that defense to be better than it was last year, and that offense, as much experience that they got coming back. Yeah, they done lost Maffa, but that's about it. So I like Clemson too.
Man, I'm gonna go Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia. I'm gonna go, man, saying getting to that playoff. I mean, it's just a lot of teams out there. I'm gonna say LSU. Then I'm gonna take my Seminoles. I'm going Florida State.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
take my Seminoles to get in the playoff. I don't know why. I'm taking my Seminoles. I'm not gonna not talk about my Seminoles when we talking college football. We in, and I'm saying it right here first.
A Stream. I love my brother Moss, but I'm gonna tell him his team is trash.
Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me?
Yes, you good.
So 6 teams. I'm going to go with Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Penn State, Oregon, and I'm gonna go Clemson. Did I say Clemson? Yeah, Clemson. So that'd be my 6.
Man, Mossberg, the only one who threw something out there that we don't know if it's gonna happen or not.
Yeah, he threw some Swiss cheese out there. It's
Yeah,
all good.
Some show no Swiss cheese out there.
Hey, rep your squad though, Moss. Man,
Yeah,
listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I respect that, bro. I respect it.
I got faith in them. Much faith.
Well, I mean, we got 2 dudes that get on our show and be talking crazy sometimes, so it's okay if you join us sometime every now and then, Mossberg.
Man.
Okay. For sure, it's okay. I'm definitely got to go with my Longhorns, man. We better make it, man, because I had too many years when we was down in the dirt. So we better make it for a 3rd straight year. Of course, the Buckeyes, Penn State, Oregon. I don't know if there's another big team that will squeak in there, but I definitely think Clemson's going to win the ACC. I'm going to throw funky old Texas Tech in because I think they're going to win the Big 12. I'm going to throw Texas Tech out.
Okay.
They done spent enough money. They better make it.
Man, you ain't tell me I could throw a filler in. Can I throw a
KT.
filler in?
I only threw 6 out there. I didn't
but
throw nobody else. I didn't pick Georgia in there. I think they're going to make it.
We're going to have to get KT in here on them Canes, man. He said, y'all sleeping on my Canes, and I love it. The U.
Well, I'm just nervous because Carson Beck just got cleared for summer workouts, bro. It's a report he got to build with the receivers, and y'all ain't got the receivers y'all got last year. So I'm nervous about that. You know what I mean? I hope he go out there and sling it and get his draft stock back, though, but his draft stock didn't fail.
No, I mean, I got Miami on my board. I just didn't, say them on there. I have them on my board. I just, that ACC, man, it could really be crazy. I think this is one of them years where it's going to be another crazy year. Just, my point reason is because with Clemson, we just don't know what Cade we're going to see. With Miami, like you said, Beck just coming back, it's not too long. And man, you spoke about that separately, coming back from spring, being ready, some of those things as we talk about in the chat as well. So that's another thing I feel like with the ACC, Clemson, Florida State, and Miami are 3 teams, of course, that I feel going to go at it. Of course, with Georgia Tech being a team that everybody sleeps on with King. We've seen what they did last year. And I feel, as long as King is playing great, that Georgia Tech team is a team that could beat anybody in the conference.
And Moss, I'm right with you when you talk about that. And another thing that I want to tap into is we got to understand how many teams do we think the ACC is really going to get in there, like for real, like 2, 3 tops.
They can't get 3. They can't get 3.
It's possible. I mean, it's possible. It depends on.
They can't get 3, bro. They can't get 3.
Let me explain how they could get 3 though. I'm just saying
SEC.
this is very possible too. Clemson has to win. Early in the season, who do they play? I know they got South Carolina late in the season.
They got LSU.
LSU. So they got to win both of them games, and somebody got to clip them in conference play. And then them weighted wins against the SEC will hold weight for a team that's in the ACC from beating them. And who we look at? We look at Miami. We look at Georgia Tech, and one of my sleeper teams in the ACC, Virginia Tech. So it's going and SMU. I can't forget about SMU with Kev, Big Kev coming back at quarterback. I can't forget about them, even though they lost Bashar Smith. He was an all-do-it-all for them. But them 4 teams in that group, I got Clemson winning that conference, but them 4 teams, they can make some noise, man. It's possible that the ACC can get 2 at-large bids, 3 maybe, for real. It depends, though.
Okay. How do y'all feel about college teams having as many coaches as they want? It used to be a limit on how many coaches you could have, how many coaches could actually be coaching the players. Now you can have unlimited coaches. Is that harmful? Is it too many people talking to the players? What do y'all think? What's your thoughts on that?
I say that exactly. I would say if you're going to have that many coaches, I better see a lot of, not scholarships, but graduation rate being high. I want to see a lot of these kids getting themselves situated when it comes to being a student athlete, having the right people there, when it comes to this NIL money and everything else. That should be first and foremost. If you're allowing these coaches to come in and allowing them to have unlimited people, rap music, all this different stuff, nothing against what it takes for them to get prepared and prepped up for their game. I understand the changes in times, but be there and make sure you're doing some of the things that's going to set these guys forward 10, 15 years down the road for life itself, because life's still going to life after football. That's one thing for sure, or basketball and any other sport respectively.
Yeah, I feel like as long as there's a chain of command and everything's good on that point, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be allowed to have as many coaches as they would like or need.
Yeah, the coaching thing, man. If you can afford the coaches, go ahead. More people. A lot of these coaches got degrees. They've been through the whole process. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that it's not too many people that's on your staff that hasn't had a degree or hasn't been on the football field. So the more wisdom that you can gain from having more guys on the staff, the more outreach you can have for the players on your squad. We done moved down 20 scholarships. So, I mean, to have 20 coaches, 30 coaches, you almost at a 5-to-1 ratio. That's cool. That's great. You know what I mean? And we're not even talking about really like the training staff and all that. The what is it called? What is it called when you lift weights? What they call
strength and conditioning.
Strength and conditioning staff. You got a whole bunch of the nutrition staff. You got it's a whole village around. So it really, like, you shouldn't be seeing Cormani McClains around here no more, honestly. For real. You really shouldn't.
Mr. Claiborne, how you feel about teams having as many coaches as they want?
I like it. Like Zay was saying. I mean, the more the merrier. I think that goes about for just about almost anything in life. So, and the higher qualified, just like we had a few head coaches on our team last year. You know what I mean? We had a couple head coaches on our team rather last year, and we see what type of price that pay. So, I mean, how many ever they can get.
Yeah, for sure.
And I do agree with what both of them saying too. So I don't want people to think that I'm not agreeing with that it's a good thing. I had multiple coaches on my staff. When I played, it was the best thing. and we had a NBA player, you know, in Granville, rest in peace, that passed away, and it was the best thing ever. So it definitely helps, but just making sure it's all and good for them in the long run.
Yeah, when you have those young players who really aren't getting a whole lot of time, you want to have a coach that can pull them to the side and work with them on the things that they need to work on. Maybe because the offensive coordinator or that position coach who is main coach of that position may not be able to always get him all of that attention. So you want to have a guy who is like-minded like your position coach who can pull that player to the side and give him a little bit of something extra that you know fits in line with what your program wants to do. And I agree with Postgame saying, as long as everybody's following what your head man is saying, then you ain't gonna have no issues. You ain't gonna have too many Chiefs and not enough Indians.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we had a problem with that last year. Our Buckeyes. That's why you see a lot of. That's why you seen a lot of coaches lead the coaching staff for real.
We were used. We were taken advantage of and used, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's true too, T1. That's true.
So the high school recruiting trail is heating up as players are about to start taking their official visits. What positions have some serious team battles taking place right now?
Quarterback, most important position. Unless they got a returning starter, that's it. Them quarterback battles, and still, you may be a returning starter, but if somebody come in and they got some fire and they make you not look like a starter while they're out there on that field, you know, I just think always the quarterback.
I like that. I was about to say the same thing. Since you say quarterback, I'm gonna go with defensive backs. I've been noticing a lot of defensive backs starting to, whether it's reclassify, switch schools, starting to be a hot commodity. And I think that's something we speak on a lot, seeing defensive backs in college football. And I think this young class that we have coming in these next few years is definitely going to change the defensive side of football and the way we look at things. And we're starting to see, you know, quite a few of them now.
I think one of the main things as a head coach, it should be recruiting as always. I think even though we got NIL on the transfer portal, recruiting trail and I guess I want to say your programs, what is it called? Your programs, I don't know, like just your culture. Yeah, your culture. They go hand in hand. So if you recruiting guys that's good students, if you're recruiting guys that's good athletes, and you're recruiting guys with head on their shoulders, they know how to think, then you just recruit them just to bring them in. You don't care about the battles because they're not going to run when the battle comes. So I really don't really pay attention to team battles unless it is the quarterback position for real, because if you're a quarterback, your time is real slim. It's one of them that can be on the field. It ain't two, it ain't three, it ain't four. So a lot of these teams, what they're going to do is they got 105 scholarships. So if you keep 7 guys at that position group, usually, now you might offer 2 more scholarships. You might offer 8 and 9. You might have 9 guys on your roster at that position group. Just like at Ohio State, we usually like to keep 8 cornerbacks on roster. Now we want 9. Even offensive linemen, you know, you go about 14, 15 deep on offensive line. You want maybe 3 or 4 more. So you want to keep like 17, 18, you know, north of that number. You want probably 4 or 5 each class. So I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the battles unless it really is the quarterback position, because skill position, they're going to transfer out anyway.
Yeah, it's some really hot position battles going on in college football. One in particular is the starting quarterback position at the University of Notre Dame. You got C.J. Carr, grandson, of the legendary Lloyd Carr, and you got Kenny Minchie, who's more of a scrambling quarterback, but he can throw the ball also. So me in particular, I'm gonna have my eye on that battle. As I agree with the rest of y'all. I mean, the quarterback position is the most important position to me. So I'm gonna go with the QB position battles.
Yeah, there's quite a few running backs out there that are coming out of high school that there's quite a few teams that's in play for. Some big battles too. I mean, you got Miami, Georgia, Texas, Ohio State, Oregon. All these guys are vying for like these 3 or 4 running backs that are out there, man. So I think that's a big position coming out of high school that these teams are trying to vie for. Along with offensive linemen, there's a bunch of offensive linemen out there that you got a lot of top-notch teams are vying for their services going into this next recruiting class. Well, this recruiting class in 2026 that they want to land these guys. Hopefully, well, we just had a big one that just decided he was going to commit to Miami. Cantwell, is that his name?
Yeah, Jackson Cantwell. I thought we was gonna get him. Tyler Bowen was on his ass, but we ain't get him. It's cool though.
Yeah. So it's going to be some big battles like that, man. And I'm anxious to see where these young men decide to go when they decide to commit or whenever they decide to sign. Speaking of that, can USC maintain their number 1 ranking after the signing day is over? Do you think they're going to stay number 1?
Not at all. It ain't even close. They got 28 guys already committed, and probably 12 of them is 3-star prospects, and no knock on the recruiting services and all that, but bro, it's about evaluating talent. It's not really about the stars that's next to your name. Like, we just got a commitment from a cornerback from yesterday, Jordan Hudson. And we had him higher on our board than Elbert Hill, and Elbert Hill is from Ohio. We didn't want Elbert Hill, though. We did not want him. He's not our typical Ohio State cornerback. Elbert Hill, 5'11", 180, but he a 5-star prospect. He was by ESPN services. He was rated the number 1 cornerback in the service, but he didn't want to play slot at Ohio State. So we was like, all right, we good on slots, and honestly, I seen the tape. He got good tape. Do I think he was like a can't miss prospect though? No, I don't feel like he was a can't miss prospect, because if he was, we would have went after him all hardcore. You know what I mean? And one thing I do think that a lot of programs make a mistake at is they don't trust their recruiting and their scouting department. If you're going to scout a guy, scout a guy. Don't worry about what the recruiting service is saying, because you know what you can develop as a coach. So don't think about what, and we got a certain type of corner that we want. We want 6 foot, 6'1", and we want them to be rangy and be twitchy in the hips. That's what we like. Elbert Hill didn't fit that, and he wasn't number 1 on our board. So we took Jordan Hudson. We put the full court press on Jordan Hudson before we did a dude in our backyard. And that's just what it is. And sometimes you just got to trust that scouting department, though.
Your thoughts on this?
Yeah. I do not think that USC will end up with the number 1 class. What you normally see in these recruiting cycles is teams like Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State come on later, and they end up moving up and taking those 1, 2, 3, 4 spots in the rankings. So USC has early success, like my man was just saying. They got a lot of 3 stars, and not knocking a 3-star, because the majority of NFL players are 3 and 4 stars. 5 stars tend to bust more. So I don't think USC will end up with the number 1 class.
Yeah, I agree. Feel the same way. My Seminoles ranked, I think, 16th right now. I feel we could get in the top 10. So Just knowing, like you said, how Texas, Ohio State, all those different teams, Georgia, Michigan, you name it, they come on late. And when they come on late, they come in packs and they jump and they stay where they stick. So, when they move up, it's only going to be continuous, or when they move within that top 5, they normally stay. So definitely think it's been a good, good class for USC overall, but I don't think they'll stay number 1. I think they're, made $4 top 10 possibly.
Yeah, definitely top 10. They're gonna finish top 10, Moss. Good call on that. They're gonna finish top 10. And listen, this is another thing we gotta understand too, though. Sometimes these recruiting services move based off of who offers you and when they move guys in the rankings. Like me and No was talking, he was like, "Oh, y'all offered him this. He got all these offers. Oh, he gonna jump in the rankings." You know what I'm saying? It's about scouting, bro. I'm telling you, it's about scouting.
That's it.
I definitely don't think they're gonna finish number 1, and I don't even think they're gonna finish in the top 10.
Ooh.
Once these major players out there in high school who got your Georgias, your Alabamas, your Ohio States, your Texas, your Oregons, your Michigans, once these guys start to come off of the board, like say for instance, if Texas get these certain offensive linemen, then those other guys that they was recruiting, they're gonna go somewhere else where they know they can play. And these guys are it's gonna be a trickle-down effect. And I think that's gonna push USC probably to about 15. I don't think they're gonna stay ahead of some of those major schools like that, especially if the guys that they got on their board right now or the guys that they're going to bring in and sign at the end of this thing. So I think they're probably going to fall just because their numbers are high, but their stars are low.
You got me wanting me to put you on a hot seat with this question.
Go ahead, put me on the hot seat, man. Put me on the hot seat.
I'm not going to say you on the hot seat, but I think he just kind of said
you said that. You said the hot seat. Hold on. Say what you said.
Do you think my Seminoles, what you said, do you think my Seminoles top 10 recruitment coming into 2026? Ooh.
No.
Oh, we're going to remember that.
But here's why. Because, man, I'm telling you right now, them kids that's in Florida right now, Texas is coming hard, bro.
No.
Georgia is coming hard.
Talk about us.
I mean, y'all there too, bro. Y'all there too, but don't nobody want to keep saying Ohio State's name, bro. We're gonna leave your ass up, bro. It's a Texas fan talking right here. I ain't gotta talk about y'all when I'm talking. You talking about it when you talking. So I think, and the fact that Florida State had a down year last year, it's going to hurt them with this class.
Right.
And Florida's on the come up along with Miami. So I think this year maybe not so much, but if they have a good showing this year, then they can in that 2027 class they can start to pick it up. But I don't think they're going to end up in the top 10 this year.
Hey, but listen, USC, they got the number 1 cornerback and the number 3 offensive tackle. They both 5-star prospects. That's going to weight your class different too. I think Florida State going to have a great class. I just don't think they're going to have no 5 stars. They're going to have a bunch of 4 stars and a bunch of 3 stars though. And when I talk about 5 stars, I'm talking about the majority of the recruiting services. It got to be 2 out of the 3, bro. You know what I mean? It got to be 2 out of the 3 from On. It got to be 2 out of the 3 with 247, and it got to be 2 out of 3 with ESPN. And I don't think the guys that y'all gonna get is gonna be 2 out of the 3.
KT
I just gotta say to my man Mossberg, I hope you're correct about your Seminoles turning it around and having a bounce back season.
Yes.
Because if they don't, you can say goodbye to y'all coach.
Oh.
Man, you ain't gotta say sorry, man. He about to fall flat on his motherfucking face. You hear me? I said it to you right here, and that's my brother. You know what I mean? They about to fall flat on his goddamn face. I tell him every day.
If we have that type of season, it's a boycott. I won't watch no Florida State football the following.
No, don't be that one, because then you're gonna be like how you used to like
Nah.
Chicago, and you ain't gonna like them no more, and then you
Listen.
gonna put it in your application for Michigan.
I did
I
my
don't want you to
Bengals
do
like
that.
that, and it brought us to fruition. So I will do my Seminoles like that. I hold the
See?
remote.
See, Moss. See what I'm saying? This is how you about to be a Michigan fan. 5 years from now, Moss is gonna be
Negative.
a Michigan fan.
Negative. Never.
KT is saying that Miami's going to put a fence up around Florida. Is
I
that
hope so.
possible? Is it possible though?
They've been having some great pickups.
I mean, they just
Or
landed
the same
that offensive lineman who was one of the top offensive linemen in the country. That's a big get right there,
Yeah,
man.
right. They've been definitely shoring up some pieces. I mean, this season held a lot of weight, like you said. I think on the future when it comes to recruiting wars in Florida. You got Miami, you got Florida, you got Florida State. You know, you got Central Florida, you got so we got quite those schools. Like you said, Texas, Ohio State. I mean, we're not the only schools that's recruiting. So, even Michigan, getting some players out of Florida. So you got quite a few teams that's dibbling and dabbling down there in Florida, and it's a big year, big season. If the teams don't step up, they're gonna definitely lose.
Man, KT, bro, it's definitely possible because y'all got palm trees and good facilities. Y'all just got to figure it out. That's it. Y'all got listen, really, honestly, just string together 2 good years, bro. And 2 good years to me is like last year and then this year, y'all just need to go like 8-5, 8-4. That's 2 good years in a row. And then now y'all got Florida, because if you look at Florida State, you look at and you look at Florida, not Florida, Florida gonna have a bad year. Not really a bad year, but they're gonna have like a better year that they had last year. But I think they're gonna have 5 losses this year, maybe even 6. I think they're gonna be the best 5-loss team in the country. But y'all can really put a stamp on it for real. It ain't I don't put it past y'all to win the ACC. So if y'all could turn that up and win the ACC again, you know what I mean? Now what? Not again. Y'all lost it last year, but y'all was down there close.
Before we go to the next question, let's tackle KT's other statement. College football needs Miami, Florida State, and Florida in the mix. Now, this is probably the only state that got 3 powerhouse teams like that. Now, Texas got a lot of teams, but they don't match with those 3. What's your thoughts on that? Is that a true statement? They need them to be in the mix.
I mean, of late, I could say Texas is better than them 3 programs, the Texas schools, because TCU made the college football playoff and almost down there won a national championship.
Man, you put TCU up against them Seminoles, man. We gonna beat TCU.
I don't care what you're talking about, bro. They got more accolades in the last 15 years than y'all do. What are you talking about,
man?
I don't want to hear none of that BTA stuff. We just talking
in
facts.
A Buffy conference too.
Hey, we just talking facts though. They made the 14 college football playoff.
No disrespect to them. No disrespect.
And I'm just talking facts. I'm just talking about what I know. That's it. I'm just saying Miami, Florida State, and Florida all been down for like a while. Like, and Miami had a good year last year, and y'all went 12-0 the other year, but all 3 of these teams been down for a while. Ain't none of y'all strung together 4 or 5 years in a row in the last 15, 20 years. None of y'all. This is a fact.
Listen here. You saying TCU can compete with Miami, Florida State, and Florida.
Bro, I'm telling you, TCU made it to the college football playoff more recent than any of them teams. That's what I'm telling you.
Put us in that same division. Them years that they made it.
Bro, that's not, bro. They playing the cards that they dealt.
I'm
just saying. You can't fault them for that.
I'm not negating your facts, but I feel like if you got Miami, FSU, and Florida in the mix, that's when you're gonna see the best college football atmosphere ever.
I agree.
I'm not saying that it wouldn't be like that. I'm saying to you though, only thing I said is what No said. He was like Texas. He was like, it ain't that many teams in one state that's like that. And I'm like, no, the Texas teams is better than Miami teams over history over the last 10 years. That's the only thing I said. Yeah, I want Miami,
So-
Florida State, and Florida to be good
Because
it is
TCU
better
got
than
in the
college football.
playoff.
Bro, what has any of these teams did in the last 10
We started
years
the playoff.
that them
Don't
three teams
forget
haven't
that.
did?
We started
Okay,
the
but what
playoff.
happened? Okay, over a whole though. Over a whole. If you
We
just
went
compare it,
undefeated during that span. Let me
Alright.
not mistake. I mean, you asking for facts now. Be
you a
careful what
homer
you
though.
say.
You being a homer though. Just
I'm not
just
being a homer.
add it up. You only talking about one team. You
I'm-
talking about one
That's
team.
all I needed.
Hey,
Was
Texas made it to the college football playoff 2 years in a row.
But
Who-
you throw
Who else
TCU
did it?
in the-
Who else did it? Miami?
So,
Did Florida do it? You only
the
talking about one
question-
team.
The question is Miami, Florida State, Florida. If you put TCU, Texas, and Texas Tech in there, you're not going to get that same energy. That's just not going to happen. Nothing against Texas. Texas is Texas itself. You can't think
Bro,
about nothing
it's
else
no
when
way
you
you can
talk
win
these
this
things.
argument because SMU just made it.
SMU was a team that I've been watching over the past couple of years and felt once they got in, if they could be scary if they got the ACC. Honestly,
There's no way you can win this argument. It's cool. You a homer. You're a Florida State guy, so you
Oh
gonna
yeah,
root for
I'm
your,
definitely.
yeah,
I'm
you
a
gonna back your
Seminole.
guys. I'm just telling you what the real facts is. I'm
The
just
real
telling you.
facts is
The real
it's
fact
better.
is the Texas schools definitely been better over the last 10 years. That's the only
Negative.
thing I'm saying.
TCU had 1 year with the playoff and what they do.
Hey, comment in the chat. Comment in the chat, man. Let us know what colleges and universities have been better in college football, Texas or Florida. All of them. Count all of them. I even want you to count UCF. Yeah, I even want you to count them too.
Ain't no UCF in this.
Now you disclaim.
We talking these three teams just like you said. I'm not
No,
disregarding.
because they
or
got more than
disrespecting.
Texas got more than 3 teams.
We'll put them all in there then.
I just said SMU.
Okay, put them all in there. It don't matter.
All right, y'all. Well, what coaches are on the hot seat? We already mentioned one. Who
His
else is on
boy.
the hot seat?
His boy is on the goddamn hot seat. Let him go 4-8 this year. He getting fired. He getting fired right now. Mike Norvell is on the hot seat. Since you want to play that game, Moss.
If your boy don't get them gold pants back, his ass
we
on the
good.
hot
He got a
seat,
natty.
too.
It restart for 2 years.
Oh man.
Hey, I got a guy who I think has underachieved with the talent that he has had. And I don't think a lot of people are saying this. This is just my personal opinion. But I think Brian Kelly is on the hot seat.
Oh, absolutely.
He's definitely on the hot
Absolutely.
seat. He is definitely on the. Hey, listen, if they lose that game to Clemson, and then they turn around and lose to who else they got? To Alabama.
Yeah, they
Bruh.
might put an intern coach in charge.
Yeah, man. He definitely on the hot seat. He might be more on the hot seat than Norvell. Maybe not, though, because Deion Sanders is out there. So they can get rid of Norvell and bring Deion in. But I'm telling you right now, he is on the LSU's coach is on one hell of a hot seat.
Yeah,
And he know it.
that's a great one because when you think about LSU, you know, you're thinking of a team that came into the season as highly touted as they were to be in a playoff, even possible. You know, people had them in the championship contention. So, you know, he definitely have to come in and prove a point. You know, this year, man, that's tough. You know, of course, my boy Norvell. He got to put up or shut up this year. You know, you got a whole new coaching staff in, but I think that definitely is going to help having that new coaching staff in. But you definitely have to put play on this field. You know, put his ability to coach to work and let it show on this field this year for Florida State.
Let me throw these two coaches out there to y'all, man, and y'all tell me how long they might have if they don't have success at the level that they need to. Mike Elko at Texas A&M, if he don't get to 10 wins soon, what could his future be at Texas A&M? And Kalen DeBoer, if he doesn't get to 10 wins in these next couple of years, what could his future be like?
You got a post game?
Yeah, we don't say fired no more. We say barbecued, and that's what I smell from those two programs.
Yeah. I'm in the same ingredients. It's like a one of them great days in the neighborhood where you smell barbecue from one side of the neighborhood on the other. I mean, if they don't get the job done ASAP, we talking about, possibly this year. We've seen coaches get fired at the end of the year. Last year, we seen it happen after the first few games. We've seen coaches at levels get fired even after winning a couple games. So it can happen. And if they don't put them wins together sooner than later, it'll be fast. As you said, barbecue.
What you think about that, Zay? Between Kellen, let's throw Lincoln Riley in there too. Now that KT done mentioned him, Lincoln Riley, Kellen DeBoer, Mike Elko. If those guys don't get 10-win seasons here soon, what could their future be?
Well, Lincoln, I think he not in that group because it was a lot of dysfunction when he got to USC in the first place. I think they got to give him some time for real to like switch everything around. And what we're seeing is now he's starting to he already got a quarterback, right? But they left a lot of the staff in place when he first got there on the defensive side, and it wasn't what it was supposed to be. And now they start firing guys. Now he getting guys in that a lot of people is high on, and maybe is more fitted to his culture of stuff. So I don't think Lincoln Riley is in that. But Brian Kelly, he can go. Hey, he messed up. He's the biggest mistake on the whole list because he was at Notre Dame. That means you ain't it because Freeman just did it. We didn't see Freeman just do it. So you ain't it. Norvell, we already understand that it should have been prime, but Norvell went defeated though. You know what I mean? So let's give him more time too. Just like how they was like, Poe was like, oh no, Sharon Moore ain't it. You wasn't saying that after you beat Ohio State though, and then you beat Bama in that bowl game. You wasn't saying now you can change your tune, Poe. Come on now. Listen, it was his first year. Sometimes first year guys just gotta go through it, man. Give them 3-4 years. Let them get their guys in because I used to be like that with Ryan Day, and I was like, all right, now we done seen what it looked like with all his guys. I'm still not happy about losing to that team up north. God damn, beat the team up north, bro. But you done got a natty, and you the other two coaches before you done got one. So he got 2 years. Anytime he win a natty and you keep losing to Michigan, you got a 2-year refresher for me. Like, nope. Hey, if you lose this year and then you lose next year, you don't win no natty, you gone. That's my whole thought process on it. And that's just coming from a real diehard Buckeye fan. I want to fight when we lose. So, you know what I mean? I'm just telling y'all how I feel. You feel me? About the situation of a coach of my program. You can't do certain things. Certain things you can't do. Like, oh no, let me ask you this question. Y'all lose to OU or Arkansas this year, you are going to be hot. You might call for Sark's head.
No, I ain't going to call for his head.
You ain't.
But I'm going to be hot. But I'm going to be hot.
Say y'all missed the playoffs. Say y'all missed the playoffs added on to that.
Well, because it would have to be some kind of extenuating circumstance like Arch got hurt or something like that. It won't be because of coaching.
No, it can be that y'all lost to Ohio State week 1. Y'all lost to Georgia, and then y'all lost to them. That's what it could be.
Yeah, but if we lose to those teams, you best believe that those teams are going to be ranked so high that they're going to forgive Texas for those losses. But I'm going to say this to you. Get your punching bag ready because you know you like to fight after your team lose. Get your punching bag, put it up in your basement because you're going to need something to hit. You're going to need something to hit because y'all taking the L on August 30th. You heard it here first.
Hey, if that ever happened to me, that's gonna be a day where I just go over to Moss's world, my girl's world, and do what they do, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. You know what I mean?
Are there any teams that y'all want to see play year in and year out that don't play year in and year out? Like, remember back in the days, you always had an Oklahoma-Nebraska game that was played, man. Do you
Man,
want to see a game?
why would you take my one game I had, bro?
Because
You know that
I
was-
knew you had it. I was just using it.
He took my one game I had. And you know you wrong with that.
Well, go
We
ahead.
already
Talk
had
about
this,
it.
we
Go ahead,
already had
talk
this
about it.
conversation, bruh. You already know. Man, go ahead, post game, man. Who you got, bruh?
Shout out to Parlay Pope. I would like to see Notre Dame and Michigan renew that rivalry year in, year out. That's what I want to see.
That's a cool but they supposed to be. That's why we need them in the Big Ten.
Oh,
Y'all want that money, wouldn't y'all?
We'll love it. We'll love it.
like man, like I don't know. I might say this in a homer. I would like to see some epic, like a Florida State, Ohio State matchup, Florida State, USC, Florida State, Michigan. I would
Y'all
like
ain't
to see
our
that.
rivals, man. Y'all ain't our
I'm not
rivals.
saying like that don't play yearly. We don't play yearly. Like
Yeah, but it's supposed to be a rivalry.
Alabama, Florida State, we got that for quite a few years. That ain't a rival. I'm just saying, like, just to play. I would like to see something like that. Just like he said, something like that, Oklahoma, Nebraska. I know that was a rivalry, but just something different. Like, yeah, I would definitely like to see that.
It's
Florida
about to be
State.
new rivalries created, but
Florida State, Notre Dame
since
is
he
going
took
away.
mine, I did just think of one in the cut real quick. Kansas and Missouri. They really post. I think when I was reading up on something, I think their last game is next year, and then they're not scheduled at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like their fans is probably gonna be salty. You know what I mean? It's probably, I don't know how far the drive is from campus to campus, but and that's what me and Nono was talking about earlier. It was like, well, would their fans care? Yeah, their fans probably care, but the rest of the country wouldn't about certain games. You know what I mean? But let's just put ourselves into the fan shoes. Bro, that Kansas Missouri game probably crazy for real. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's probably crazy.
Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is, man, for sure. What about Pitt and Penn State?
That
Hell,
man, that's
I mean,
like,
for their fans, though, the Battle of Pennsylvania. Come on,
yeah,
bro.
that's like
That's not the same as Ohio State OU. Pitt is a little bit better than OU.
Yeah. They literally like next door to each other. That's like Short
Next
North Windsor Terrace. Like that's across the bridge from each other. That would be crazy. That would be something to see.
man, the reason why I say no to that is because Penn State got bigger fish to fry now. They can't, you know what I mean? Like Pitt is like a little dog to consider to Penn State now. Like they didn't put themselves in the upper echelon so far that past Pittsburgh. I mean, it's like, bro, why? No, like why? This is why. I don't know. It's just like why. That's why I was telling you, like, I wouldn't want to see the Texas Tech. I would hate to see that. I don't even want to see that every year. Like, you know what I mean? That's just gonna be a beating on Texas Tech every year. That's all it's gonna be. It's gonna turn out to be Ohio State, Michigan.
That could be a lot of points in that game, especially at Texas Tech. Boy, I think that would be a nice one.
Should the NCAA take over scheduling these games, man, and not leave it up to the university or the conference?
No, absolutely not. What does the NCAA get right? Don't worry, I'll wait.
They might get
I was
that
about to
right.
say they might get the scheduling right because you never know. They about the bread. They about the money.
No, I already told y'all this would need to happen. It need to be an SEC Big Ten challenge every year. It need to be a Big 10, Big 12 challenge every year. And you need to schedule based off of the year before. If somebody finished first, make them go up against maybe number 2 from the conference, and then vice versa, and then do 3 and 4 the same way, and do 5 and 6 the same way, bro. That's how you get great matchups, bro. Yeah, no, you can't. No, no, we don't trust the NCAA for nothing. Only thing we can trust them for is to put their socks on before they leave out of the house. We can't trust them for nothing else.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with my man FanDuel. I think, outside of a few rivalry games that I would like to see, I think the teams pretty much get the scheduling right as far as the Big Ten SEC challenge that you mentioned. I would love to see it. So I wouldn't trust the NCAA with scheduling. So
Wouldn't it be dope though if each conference had to play one team in the other conference along with their 9 game conference schedule, and then you just get one cupcake?
Because I'm looking
No, that'd be 12 games, right?
You
That'd
get
be
2
12 games. No,
cupcakes.
you don't get no cupcakes.
You
Yeah,
get 2
'cause-
cupcakes.
Because you looking
Well,
at
you possibly could get a cupcake in somebody else's conference, either in the Big 12 or the ACC, or a cupcake in the Big 10 or a cupcake in the SEC. But you should have to play one team from outside of your conference in one of those 3 conferences, and then your 9 game schedule. That would be dope, man. That would be dope.
just thinking of it, I think that's something that like the NCAA would love to do because it's a lot of money involved. You know, that's the only reason I think of NCAA. Not that I mean, you have a great, thought and the idea as well. I mean, nothing against that. I just think that's the only reason I would say NCAA. Because when you think of NCAA, of course, you think a $1 billion business, which they will want to get back, some kind of money. And that's the way of doing it, putting those type of matchups together, being the ones that's named and all over everything, getting some kind of income from it. Man, that would be.
Bro, I actually just thought of the greatest idea ever. How many SEC teams is it?
16,
16, and the Big Ten got 18.
18.
So if they can come to a common ground and get to the same number of teams, they should just do ping pong balls. They should all just meet up and have a Big Ten SEC conference, and maybe 3 months before, it should just be ping pong balls drawn, and you be like, ooh, this is who we play. Ooh, this is who we play. And do a coin flip. Whose house is it at? Do a coin flip. God damn it. Shit. There ain't no bias to it. Yeah, do a coin flip.
Man, you are on one heck of a cussing road today, my brother.
Man, listen. Hey, I be on college football creating these different little things. You know what I mean? I don't know. It worked out.
I think if you used all 15 of the cuss words in the dictionary at least 5 times tonight.
Nah, I ain't say no cuss word.
Oh, okay.
It's all in your imagination.
It's yours. This is the last question I got on the slate, man. What y'all think? Outside of Shedeur Sanders, what player in this year's draft has a chip on his shoulder? Or should have a chip on his shoulder?
I'm gonna go with my Buccaneer, my fellow Buccaneer, Benjamin Morrison. Yeah, don't play with him like he wasn't a first round talent. I know that he had them surgeries on his hips. It wasn't really no football surgery though. Like he messed up his hips in football. He had one when he was a kid, and then he had another one because it was out of line or something or whatever. I don't really got all the details, but the way he was talking and the way he was feeling after he was drafted, and he felt like people was giving up on him. I know he got a chip on his shoulder. He out to prove that he was the best cornerback in the draft.
I think KT, I'm going back to one of your boys. Shout out to your boy, man, Xavier Restrepo. Like he said, I've been watching a lot of footage of that man. He been working. Seeing some highlights of Cam Ward. He said he was vouching for him from the jump. I mean, you talking about a All-American, one of the best route runners we've seen in college football. Sure hands. I mean, I think he's definitely playing with a chip on his shoulder. He goes to goes to the team with his quarterback. Then he got Texas boy Gunnar Helm over there with him too. So I just think Xavier, he's out to definitely make a name for himself. Definitely see him being a key piece of the Titans offense in the next few years. Definitely this year for sure.
Me, myself, and it might surprise y'all a little bit, but y'all got to rock with me on this one. I'm going to go Cam Ward.
Ooh.
And you know why? Because I've never seen a quarterback taken first that was talked about so little during the draft process.
Yeah.
And I think my man on the mission. So
I agree.
We definitely rocking with you on that one because that is so true. And
Man.
he wasn't highly recruited out of high school. No stars. Had to leave Washington State to go to a better situation in Miami. Balled out, and like you said, he was not the quarterback that was talked about in this NFL draft. It was all Shador and all these other guys, and not him. So he definitely should have a chip on the shoulder. But I wouldn't be me if I didn't take one homer stance, and my homer stance is Cam Williams, right tackle out of Texas. He thought for sure he was going to be a second, third rounder. He fell all the way to maybe 6th or 7th round. He better have a chip on his shoulder, man, because he's a big human being that can really make some things happen, but he got to get it together. He better have a chip on his shoulder to help him get it together.
I think that was all you on his draft stock. Because I was asking you first, second, third, whatever. He went 6th round. Ain't no way you an offensive tackle and you done went from the first, second round to the 6th, bro. That's all you. That's a homer stuff. But y'all got mad at T1, just to mention, y'all got mad at T1 when he did it in the mock draft. I just want to point that out.
What I was about to say. Nah, go ahead.
That was the homerest shit ever, though. He had him going what was he going, number 5?
He went number 7 or number 8 to the Jets.
Yeah. Yeah, that's straight up homer.
He went 19. That ain't too crazy.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. It's not. It's really not. What's crazy is if you would have picked Cam Williams and he went 6th round.
Well, I know he had a second, third, a late second, early third round grade on him, but I thought he should have stayed in college myself.
Yeah,
he did not have a good showing against the Ohio State Buckeyes, so I thought he should have stayed.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we lost the game. I'm going to put it on him.
It was more than that.
Whatever, man. All right, y'all. Well, that's all I had, man. I'm glad that my man Post Game could get in here with us finally.
You know what I'm saying?
We so glad you was able to get in with us. So I'm gonna always keep you in contact on when we go on to go live. We usually try to do Saturday mornings at 10, Sunday mornings at 9, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays for me at 7:45. But whenever you can make it, let us know. I'm gonna always keep you informed so you can make that decision if it fits your schedule or not. So I'm glad that y'all all could get in here this evening. Unless y'all got something else, we can go ahead and wrap it up, man.
Roger. The only thing I want to say is the Cavs is about to go down in 5. Hey, T1, if you watching, that's probably why you mad at me for real, bro. I'm just going to keep it real, though, bro. I don't care. Be mad at me.
I was about to say, I was checking the score of that game myself. I'm going to be looking forward to getting that interview set up with Cap City Predators owner, Mike, this Thursday. Hopefully we can get that set up this Thursday, I believe. Nothing is affecting my schedule, so look out for that interview coming this week with the owner of Cap City Predators, the new partnership that I just came up. And, we came together this week, which is just a blessing, and it'll be more to come from that as well. Hey,
boss, you the only dude I know that got 10 jobs and say nothing affects your schedule.
Hey, listen, man, the grind don't stop. We working. Hey, this is what I love to do, man. And everything that I do when I'm not on the clock is Level Up Sports 10, WTP Sports, Dual City League TV, FanDuel, Zay Parlay.
Hey, tell the people, though, one time I hit you up, you painting. The next time I hit you up, you in that fish grease. Hey, the next time I hit you up, You might be training somebody in basketball. I don't know what you like. You got 10 jobs, bro.
Listen, man, the grind don't stop. You know, when you got the little ones, and it's just been, like I said, man, with the guys, man, since Unc brought me to this, man, it's just been a different mindset. You know, that's what when he came up to me with the name Level Up Sports, you know, I had to add my high school basketball number to it, and it just meant everything. And you know, where I felt like things in my life was going, it was just only leveling up. So, you know, that definitely, yes, sir, KT, man, this is my guy, man. None better than
dog,
man. Only
and
one
they know.
Young Zay, the fan duel himself, man. But yeah, without this, it wouldn't be possible. That's why I love doing what I do, and we just getting started. So just go ahead and put it on the record. I might have 30 jobs in the next year. I don't mind.
I don't put it past you, dog.
For what we doing, man. It's all for what we doing in the level of what we do, for sure.
All right, man. I truly appreciate y'all, man. So we out.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.
Uh.